Kalimera, Jost.
Hello.
So I'm here with Jost. He's one of the participants of the workshop that we're running at the moment, which had natural building, community building. And today's a day off, so I took him for a walk in the forest and to visit my favourite space, which is the running springs. How did you find it so far?
Very nice and relaxing.
So we're in a quiet bit of the forest. All you can hear is the birds and Zen exploring. And one of the things that I wanted to speak with you about, and you're free to ask questions because this is a conversation, is what were the conditions and how did you make the decision to move to the countryside?
So first I was part of one youth exchange in Slovenia. Mm-hmm. And this place was focused a lot on natural building and more on plastering. And they had different elements of alternative technologies, let's say. Mm-hmm. For example, warming up, showering water with compost. What else? Compost toilets. I've never seen them before. And yeah, a lot of natural building stuff. And it was like a revelation to me. Mm-hmm. It was like, wow. I really didn't know that this world exists.
That's exactly what happened to me when I found out about permaculture.
Yeah. And then I spent some time on this farm also later as a long-term volunteer. Then I met Marina, my partner, and we decided that we want to create a space together, similar to that farm. Mm-hmm. So,
what was it about that farm that fascinated you? Is it this kind of lifestyle that is more in tune and in harmony with the earth?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's a cliche, it's to live sustainably on this planet and with nature as much as possible. So yeah, we were start to look for a land in Slovenia first. Our ideal idea was abandoned farm with 1 or 2 hectares of land. But then father of Marina contacted us and said that they are moving and then they will sell the land on the rural part of Spain that they had because they cannot take care of it, and maybe if we are interested we can go there. Mm-hmm. At first it was not interesting for us because it didn't fit our picture. But then we said, okay, let's give it a chance and go and see. Mm-hmm. Well, we changed our minds because we were like, okay, it's perfect. It's perfect practice ground, let's say. We will have freedom. Nobody will say us what we need to do. And we can start creating whatever we feel like. Mm-hmm.
And actually finding what it is that you feel like.
Exactly. Also. Yeah.
What I'm hearing is that it wasn't your ideal place, but because it was offered, and I'm guessing it was offered for free.
Yeah.
Then you said, okay, we'll take this chance so that we can experiment and see what it is that we like doing, how we like living, and find out what is our perfect place, right?
Yeah, right. We are always with an attitude, let's try. I mean, if it will not work out, we'll just move on another place. Mm-hmm. It's not a problem for us. Even if in the next years we will put a lot of energy and effort, we're not bound to it emotionally. Mm-hmm. Because for us, it's just like steps on the way. Mm-hmm. And if it will, in the end, work out differently, that we'll move, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. We're flexible now, let's say.
So the fact that you had an offer for a piece of land obviously helped to make this decision. What are some other things that helped you along the way to make this transition and the move to the countryside?
Definitely Marina, to live with her. Definitely my inner call for adventure, to go into a new country, learn new language, meet totally new people, new culture. This for me is always interesting.
So Greece might be on the radar at some stage?
It is possible. I cannot say no. Everything is possible. For me, really.
And that's the attitude, I guess, that we need to have in order to go into such an experience, right?
Yeah. So, not to limit yourself.
Yes.
But in both ways. I mean, how to explain that? Not to limit, okay, now I decided to go there and now I'm there. I mean, if it doesn't work out, you go somewhere else.
Yes. What about if people are really struggling financially and they're wondering, what are the things that I can do in order to earn my livelihood? Explain a little bit about what your process was.
Well, my experience was like Okay, I definitely recommend having some savings to start off. And then, I don't know, I wouldn't say luck, but in a way it's luck. But on the other hand, I think it's just a result of your choices before. So I guess if you are in the right path, the things will appear. Like, for example, for me, we were there for 2 months and there was this trash site of the neighborhood. We threw out a lot of things from the old house and we were talking one day like, wow, it would be nice if I had this job. It's only for weekends. It's okay money.
What's the job?
It was to be on the trash site and people come and you're just writing on the paper who throw what. And then there is a lot of things that you can take. And it was like, this is the ideal job. Oh my gosh. And through the week I can work on the land, no?
Yeah.
And Marina had already a job as an online teacher of languages and for high school science. So for me it was like supplementing.
Did you get that job?
Yeah. Like 2-3 weeks after that, because in the WhatsApp group we presented ourselves and our project, what we want to do to everybody.
Which WhatsApp group?
The neighborhood.
Oh, the neighborhood has a WhatsApp group.
Not just one, like 5 or 6 for different things. And everybody knows everything. And then
wait, this is a great idea to set up a group for the local area.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's another thing that you can do. Yep, great.
So we have WhatsApp group for very important alerts, for example, and it's for second-hand shop group. Then it's about animal group, about gardening group, about different things. And in that time, one couple that just bought the land there also saw our post or sharing of our land, and they actually came to see the land. And then one night we were walking around, we met them. So we talked, and now they're our friends also.
Yes.
One of them is officially also co-founder of the association.
Zen's got very excited all of a sudden. He loves it in the forest.
The woman, she was in the board of the neighborhood. And then she recommended me. And they took me. So in the beginning I had this job. I got this job after 2 weeks of imagining it.
You manifested it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, perfect.
It was crazy. We couldn't believe it. No, sorry. It was different. Actually, they posted an advert searching for somebody to be there. And I applied. And then we prepared a lot. This was funny story. We prepared a lot. I didn't speak Spanish yet. So Marina was training me for the questions and all this. And I was like, okay. And I was like, we don't need this. And she was like, yes, you need to prepare well. Okay, we go for an interview. She was with me to help me. And then it was so funny because I was so prepared. And then they say things. And blah, blah, blah. This will be like this will be like this. Everything clear. And they say, do you have any more questions? And Marina was like, oh, what I will say more? And I said, no. And that was it. And then they contact me and they say they selected another one because the other companies did the selection. And then in 1 week, this person found another better job. And I was second online. And then they took me.
Okay, so you got this job?
I got this job. I was working weekends. It was great because I had a lot of time to advance our own project. And then in 1 year or 1.5, they wanted to employ somebody for part-time still, but more time to help for maintaining the whole neighborhood.
This is an extra job, another job.
It was together with this one. So I was on the trash side and then helping this guy.
Maintain the neighborhood, which means what?
Plumbery, electricity, cleaning, construction, everything. Basically.
Okay. So it helps to have these skills when you're out there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And in this case, it was the woman of the friends that she recommended me to hire me for this. If it was not for this project, we wouldn't meet with this couple. She wouldn't recommend me. So in the end, it's not luck.
I think it's your intention, basically. The thing is, we always think that we've got to figure out every step of how to get somewhere and plan it out. But the universe has myriad ways of manifesting this thing, which we cannot imagine.
Yeah.
Right? So all we need to do is visualize our end goal. This is what I want. How it happens is not our job.
Yeah.
Is that your experience?
I would quite agree. I mean, my experience more that you plan,
Yeah.
less it will go by plan.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like life is what happens when you're making plans.
Yeah.
You know, they say you can make all the plans in the world, but then life happens. And this is it. So it's about trusting also.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Did you trust that you would find what it is that you wanted and needed in order to make this dream a reality?
I didn't really think of
You
failing.
didn't. So you trusted.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think trust is a big element of making such a big move and making a big change.
Yeah, I agree.
You wouldn't phrase it that way because you didn't even think about it.
No,
You're
yeah,
just like
exactly.
going with it, right?
I was not thinking of failing, but for me, even if I fail, it's not really a fail. I don't know how to explain.
We don't have to explain everything, first of all,
Yeah.
but the way I interpret it is that it's all a big experiment, so you can't really fail.
Yeah.
You're learning lessons.
exactly.
You're not failing, you're learning lessons, so
Yeah.
then you can apply them. So you got this job, but then you also started a side business with cutting trees.
Well, this is very, very recent.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the reason was that on our land we have so many tall trees that are not just old but also sick because nobody was taking care, and they're very dangerous. And we don't have the money to hire the professional.
The arborist.
So what is the next step?
Well,
You
yes.
become an arborist. This is my favorite thing to do. Yeah.
Which also was a challenge for you because you were scared of heights.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you overcame your fear of heights in order to do this.
I did again. I overcame it again because in the past we were climbing a lot on high structures and I overcame the fear. But then it resetted because I didn't do it anymore. And I remember the first time going up, it was so scary. But then with breathing, calming down, taking your time, it worked out. I mean, I guess if I go now again, it's still there, but it's controllable, let's say. It's not like I'm without fear. Not at-
Actually, that's a good way to think about the move to the countryside. It doesn't mean that you're going to make the move and you're going to be without fear. You just feel the fear and do it anyway, right?
Yeah, I agree.
This is what I'm hearing from you.
This is the courage, no?
Yes.
It's like feeling fear, but doing it.
Yeah, courage.
Yeah.
Correct. So, do you want to share anything else about your experience of being in the countryside?
Definitely helps if you have some friends. Like mostly we are connected physically with friends of Marina because they live in Madrid, 1 hour away. I think it's good to have a bigger city close by. Close by, I mean 1 hour is fine. That you're not totally isolated. Because I think city can offer you a lot of good things. But I would never live in a city anyway.
I hear you.
And to be open for jobs, I mean, not to limit, okay, I want to be, or I studied to be this, and here there is no problem. I mean, start with whatever is available, and then with time, I think you can do whatever you really want to. And one learning was, at least where I lived, because people have mostly weekend houses, and they don't have super high standards if they want you to cut grass or paint this or build something small. It's not, it needs to be super perfect.
Yeah.
So if they asked me first time, do you know how to paint? And I said, no, I've never did it. So they didn't consider me as an option. So you just say yes. And then you figure it out on the way.
Exactly.
So now I'm more like, I will do it.
Yeah.
And then I go, YouTube, ChatGPT, I don't know, whatever. To get the general idea how to do it, and then you learn.
Perfect.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So be open
Yeah.
to what presents itself.
Despite the fear and uncertainty. I still don't do it every time, but I do it as much as I can.
Yeah. The thing is, at the end of the day, even though you're feeling scared about something, maybe you're feeling that excitement also.
Also.
And the excitement is actually more than the fear.
Yeah.
And you just go and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're coming out with a big smile. Like at the moment, if you could see Jost, he's got a big smile. Actually, you look like a Buddha. Like this calm presence. And I think it's just perfect that we're having this conversation in the forest. Yeah. Are there any questions that you'd like to ask?
You said that you were living in Greece for a long time.
I've been living here for 17 years.
17 years. What do you remember from the beginning?
From the beginning, when I came here, I didn't know about permaculture, but the first thing I did was come to Athens I had fallen in love with the guy. I met him while I was traveling to Greece for another reason. That's a whole different story. That made me realize that I really wanted to come to Greece. So even when we broke up a year later, I still knew that I wanted to be here. But what we did that was really critical and got me realizing that I wanted to be more in the countryside is we would go every weekend to his village. I loved it there. They would come out with vegetables from the vegetable garden. It was running waters. It was forest, like a beautiful place. And I thought, you know what? This is the kind of lifestyle that I want. And that was the last time that I lived in Athens. I moved here December 2008, and that was just before the riots. I don't know if you heard about riots that time. You're probably too young to know about it. But the riots and the big crisis started.
Greece bankrupt.
Yes. No? So by 2010, every year or two, I was going back to Australia to help my mum with things that she had. She had an olive grove in Australia. So I would go back and help her harvest olives and things like that. So I found out about permaculture in 2010. And I did my first permaculture design course in Turkey. Some of the people who were doing that permaculture design course became teachers. And after that, my life was never the same. I was always on the lookout for how I could get into the countryside. One of them was house sitting. My half-brother needed to go away for a few months for a job, and he said, I need someone to look after my house. So I stayed in the house for a few months, and I realized that this is the lifestyle I want. It was in a village. It was isolated. It was quiet. I realized that this is what I wanted. The group from the permaculture design course, we organized to go to Portugal. I stayed there for 3 months. I started teaching some workshops, and the owners saw a great opportunity to utilize the energy and the enthusiasm we had about permaculture to do a trial day about teaching permaculture. So one of us was teaching compost, another was teaching biochar, and they realized that they wanted to become a permaculture research institute. And I realized that I wanted to become a permaculture teacher.
Nice.
So then I came to Greece and I started teaching permaculture without knowing anybody. I just found the first permaculture design course was going to be running that year, like a few months later. And I contacted the girl who was organizing that permaculture design course and said to her, she was in Edinburgh at the time, and said that I want to start doing some permaculture introductory courses. And she said, let's do them together. So she came from Edinburgh. I came from Portugal. We organized a couple of introductory courses, one in Athens and one in Thessaloniki. Then she went back to Edinburgh and I stayed, and people who saw me were so passionate, they started inviting me to do workshops everywhere around Greece.
Did you have a lot of participants?
We had like 10, 12, 15, something like that in Athens, and the same in Thessaloniki. It was gaining popularity because I had a lot of energy, and that's my job, right? I realized that one of the things that I could do is transmit this information. The audiences grew and the interest in workshops grew, because in the beginning I was doing all of them for free as well, but I burnt out. I didn't have money to go and see a doctor. And then I went, this is not regenerative, this is not sustainable. So slowly, I started charging, and it started becoming my livelihood. I became the person most well known for permaculture. And because I was doing these workshops and there wasn't a book about permaculture in Greek, I saw the possibility and took responsibility to translate it, even though I'm not a translator. Just like you said, I'm not a tree cutter, right? I said, I'm not a translator, but I'm going to find the way. I write articles anyway. I love writing. It was an amazing opportunity because it actually improved my Greek. My Greek skyrocketed because of this book. I worked on it for 2 years. It was a big decision, right? Because it was a 300-page guide, the Earth User's Guide to Permaculture. And that was an amazing experience as well, because I did it in collaboration with Rosemary Morrow. She gave me the rights to the book. She wrote the book. She's a permaculture pioneer. She was then 70-something. And now she's 80-something. I've got a podcast interview with her, so I'm going to be releasing that soon. She came here to teach a permaculture teachers training for refugees in Lesbos. One thing led to another. Like, I wasn't guiding it. It was just shown to me every step of the way. And I moved around lots of different countryside towns based on invitations, on opportunities that I saw. So, for example, in one town, I was invited to go and do a workshop, and I ended up staying there for a few months and started a community-supported agriculture group. So I got the local people to start ordering from the local farmers and was organizing that. And that became my income for a little while, because I utilized produce that was being thrown away because it wasn't good enough
for the
supermarkets. So there were kiwi fruits, which you would have to be spending like 4 or 5 euros per kilo in the supermarket, they were too ripe to last the transport. So I would take them from the local packaging place and sell them to the locals for like €1 or something like that. I was getting them for free. That was the agreement as well from the producer. He said, like, I don't want you to sell them for a big price. He didn't want me to make profit. I said, I didn't care. And I was making enough money to live and do whatever I want and travel and everything like that. So it's all about looking at the opportunities that are there. And you don't have to do this forever.
Exactly.
Just being open to this opportunity led to other things and other things and other things.
Like stepping stones.
Yes, they're stepping stones. And this forever thing doesn't exist in my world. Like, I saw people working in jobs for 20 and 30 years and I'm like, I felt like I was being choked.
Me too. Yeah.
I can't stand it. So doing different things means that I have a huge variety and diversity of skills.
Yeah.
So I can do anything.
Yeah.
So now in my workshop, I can talk about how to start, how to move to the countryside. I can talk about permaculture. I can talk about communication, collaboration. I can talk about anything. Starting your own piece of land. Because I have this diversity of experiences, I go crazy when people say to me, I've got the security of a job. I'm like, dude, security comes from within you. It doesn't come from something outside of you. And this is what we need to realize when we're making this transition, right?
They have a security until they don't have it anymore. When they say, bye-bye, we don't need you.
Exactly. I don't feel safe in the city. Everything's so unstable. Something goes wrong with international relations, they stop importing shit.
Exactly.
And then you don't have anything to eat. What do you do then?
Yeah, this is also for me, like in the city, everything is reliant on the electricity. Basically.
Exactly.
And then when there's no electricity, there's nothing.
People don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Which to me is very sad and scary.
I don't want to be in that position.
Me neither. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Even more.
Even more.
Which is good in this case.
This is what I do. I like to go into depth that actually opens more possibilities for everybody to see.
I don't know, maybe something about the biggest challenges on your path so far. And how did you deal with them or something like that?
Biggest challenges. The first thing that came to my mind when you asked me that was carving out a lifestyle that I hadn't seen anyone live. Yeah. I realized that there was no instruction manual for this. So I had to create my own instruction manual. I had to create the opportunities for myself. I had to be okay with being labeled the crazy one, the black sheep, the non-conformist, the whatever. And even from people like my family, my father, what the fuck are you doing?
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. You want to be a farmer? And it's like, yeah, it's not just about being a farmer. At that stage, he was so resistant, he couldn't see me at all. Wow. I translated the book, I invited him to my launch, and he was still like, what is this? Yeah. Oh. So for me, being seen as someone who is different and not in a good way was one of the biggest challenges. But the calling was so strong for me to live this lifestyle that I had no choice. Yeah. I was going to be judging myself if I didn't do it. I wasn't going to be feeling good with myself. So I'd rather other people judge me than not have this. And the rest, like you said, comes. Like a little bit of income from the workshops, a little bit of income from the book, a little bit of income from freelancing, a little bit of income from the community-supported agriculture, and doing different things. Yeah. Like at different stages, I was earning a little bit of money from different things, which actually for me was a lot of money because I had very little expenses.
Exactly. Yeah.
When I left Australia, I started reducing all of the expenses that were not necessary. And the only thing I ended up with, my main bill, was my mobile phone. My main expense was that. And people would donate caravans to me.
This I remember.
Yes.
This was one of the biggest inspirations when we met 4 years ago. No?
Mm-hmm.
When you were saying your story and you told us about this caravan. And it was like, yeah, that's it.
People donate things to you when you're on the right path. This is the thing I said yesterday in the presentation. You know you're on the right path when resources start gathering around you. But what is the right path? It's doing what your heart is calling you to do. And then people see that enthusiasm and they want to support it.
Yeah.
When I started the translation of the book, I did it as a community-supported publication. I asked for people to prepay the book so I could publish it on my own, and I wasn't reliant on a publisher. Because if I took it to a publisher, I would do all the work and then I'd only get 10%.
Exactly.
So I wanted 100%. So I found a way to get 100%. And people loved the fact that I was doing it. And I would get donations, 500 euros to publish the book. And like that, I had 6,000 or 7,000 euros to self-publish, to pay the graphics person, the person who was going to oversee the translation. I was able to pay everything.
Awesome.
Yeah. So when you have the courage and you just go and do it and you just follow your path of excitement, like whatever excites you, things just come.
I can agree so far.
There's nothing more beautiful for me than waking up and being in this beautiful forest in the quiet with the birds and being able to choose when and how I work.
Exactly. Yeah. That you're not constrained by other people.
Not by their programs, their visions, their money-making interests. No, it's for me.
Yeah.
What I want to do.
This is also our, both of me and Marina, we just want to do whatever we feel like. In any sense
Exactly.
possible.
Exactly.
And that's it.
You know the caravan that you're sleeping in
Is
right
that
now?
one?
No, it's another one.
But also
That was also given to me.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. How was the experience for you so far, like this workshop? First of all, guys, you said there was too much singing and dancing.
But I love singing and dancing.
Yes.
Just for info.
There's a lot of partying in this workshop.
Yeah. Honestly, my main thing was
The natural building.
to build a kitchen. And all the expectations were met.
Perfect.
I love your facilitation always. Although from the content itself, I already have the knowledge, most of it. I always get bits of information,
Yes, of
which
course.
is always important. But let's say, from the bigger perspective, I gained already a lot. Because now I was part of many different training courses of Erasmus. So in the beginning, you're always focused more on what they do or teach. And now my intentions are also like to see the bigger picture, how the whole process is going on, the group dynamics. Networking is very important part now for me when I go to these training courses. So yeah, I gain a lot, and I hope in these few more days that are left, I get something more. Or not, I mean, it's already satisfied.
This is the other thing, pick up as a way for people to make this transition to this kind of lifestyle. They could look at exploring what programs are available through Erasmus Plus, which is European Union funded programs that pay for your food, accommodation and transport.
Yeah.
So that you can experience the experience and see whether this is for you.
Exactly. And if you're more interested, there is also this European Solidarity Corps program that you can go up to 1 year.
Which you have to be under 30.
True.
Yes. So you can volunteer from 2 months to a year, I think it is. And you can, again, have all your expenses paid.
Plus some little monthly allowance.
And you have a monthly allowance so that you can go on these farms or eco projects and live it so that you know in your skin, in your bones, whether this is something that you want to do.
Maybe something that I would add for somebody who would be considering doing this long term, maybe to try to get people who were there, how it was. Because in this world can be a lot of abuse also. You come as a volunteer to get an experience, to learn, and it's important to know that you're not there to be slave or enterprise worker, because a lot of times that can happen.
Okay, so it's important to talk to the people who have had that experience at that particular place. Okay.
To give a lot of time and energy to choose a good place.
I would like to invite you to smell this soil. Oh my God.
It's very nice.
So good. Do you take volunteers at your place?
So far we have opened Workaway page.
What's it called? How do people find you if they want to come to your project?
Well, our name is Mitusu Oasis, and it's from Spanish. The explanation is Mi Oasis, Tu Oasis, and Su Oasis. So together is Mitusu.
Aha.
And it has Japanese sound,
Yes.
which I love because I love everything connected to Japan.
Uh-huh.
Well, not everything, but in general.
Ah, you might even go there someday, I think.
To live now, I think, but I want to visit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
And also, I'm very excited about seeing your beatboxing coming up.
Yeah, me too. Well, actually, this is what I wanted to add because I was surprised this year, this 30-year-old birthday, that Marina gathered money for me to buy a looper. And actually, I was surprised. So many people that I didn't expect would give money, and they gave quite some money. And I was like, what? Why?
Because they believe in you.
I guess. I don't know.
And I'm going to be one of the donors as well.
It was really nice. Like, okay, yeah, I need to put now more energy also
Yes.
into this.
So this is actually guiding you in that direction. So
Yeah.
this could also be another stream of income for
Yeah.
you. Perfect.
That is my wish.
Do you have an artistic name?
Maybe, but I'm not 100% decided.
Okay. Thank you. May you have the strength and the courage to keep going on this lifestyle and inspiring others to do the same.
Yeah. And my last word would be that it's difficult, it's intense. Be careful not to overburn, to take rest if you go into this kind of project, and just to continue, have fun.
Okay. I think that's about it. Have we got
Yeah.
anything else?
No.
Excellent. Well, I mean, I'm sure we're going to, as soon as we...
But for now,
For now, I think we've completed a cycle.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time and the energy.
thank you for the invitation.
Anytime. If a life in the countryside appeals to you, you may be interested in my aptly named course, Moving to the Countryside, launching in 2026. We cover everything from preparing realistically for your transition, earning your livelihood, and envisioning your countryside lifestyle. For more, visit tinalimberas.com.